Okay, so let's talk about stereotypes, whether it's dating or just generalizing. Um, it's okay to generalize, like to summarize, but in life, you want to get to know the person and not say race. Um, so, in summary, I think I think this is the general idea of what people have in the world right now. So these two would be Asians, like kung fu. It's very old. It's like um, it's like slavery for black people, right? Black people, African Americans have moved on from slavery. Um, so people still attach um, Asians to the kung fu movies or very old movies, very old. So Asian movies are not updated, is what I'm saying. And the same goes for just basic American, whether it doesn't matter, Mexican, just basic American. But if we're talking about Caucasian, they haven't moved on from Leave It to Beaver or the Partridge family. They're kind of stuck on family. They don't study poems, King Arthur, Beowulf. They just don't study. So they're born and then they're just stuck on this. That's what I see. That's my stereotype of Americans or white people. They're just stuck on this. They don't study their history. Most people don't know that Asian films are updated. Look at, you think Asians are timid? Look at this. Look at Dragon Ball. Does this look timid to you? Look at the monster. Look at the fighting. Right? Just these kids these days, they don't research, they don't study. Right? If you want to learn about Asians, really look into Asian culture. Anime, manga. They don't study. This is where I'm at. I used to read this with Huang when we were kids, scary stories to tell in the dark. My mom used to hate these books, but you brought us to the library and we picked out what we liked. She's like, pick out what you like. And she's like, pick out books about presidents. And we always picked out scary books or puzzles or something. But this is where I'm at. I like scaring people. It's funny. I'm creating my sense of humor, my personality. So I like this. I like scaring myself too. So as you can see, Asians do change. The educated ones, they do change. Look at what they enjoy. Why don't they, show this and things like that? Well, you don't ask. You're so stuck on your family that you don't ask about our family. You never ask. So we never tell you. Because living with my cousins and stuff, you have no idea. Halloween was actually scary. My cousins would put on masks. We were kids. He would scare us. Our parents would take his mask off and throw it like on this high balcony to tell him, my cousin Yi, he was older than us. He would scare us with scary masks, and our parents would take it and throw it on this high balcony in the house so he stopped scaring the kids. He would tell us ghost stories, tell us that ghosts are real. Right? You just need to get to know us. Right? So I'm used to my family doing this to me. Right? Very American. We do the very American stuff, but they scare us all the time. So the question is, what is stereotype? It's an old form of research. It's very shallow research. It's based on just like one or two references, and that's it. Right? You need a lot of references before you can come to a conclusion to a stereotype. Is what I do. I use stereotypes correctly. I would do a lot of research and then I would stereotype. If someone asked me what a white person is to me, like give me a stereotype, I would say I don't know if I didn't do the research. Or African American, or Mexican, or Korean, or Cuban, or Saudi Arabian. If I didn't do the research, I always answer with I don't know. I'm sure you're a good person, but I don't know. I didn't do the research. Until I do at least 10 pieces of research, at least 10 to 20, then I can create a stereotype and go, oh, yeah, Saudi Arabian people are pretty crazy, man. Like I went to college and I've met a few there at some parties and stuff. Like they'll approach you. I wore this scarf at a party and one of them pulled me aside like, hey man, like I'm gonna show you a picture of my brothers and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know you, right? But I know that the scarf is from his culture. And he just pulled me aside like, hey man, let me show you a picture of my brother and stuff. Like we just vibe easily. So that's scary to me. Like, I don't even know you. You just pulled me aside. Just because you saw something you like that I was wearing. So I would do that. I would wear something that you might like. All right? Something high culture, something sophisticated, show that I'm not a danger. I'm not this kung fu person that you think I am. I'm very sophisticated, right? Because I know a lot of you generalize and think that I know Kung Fu, right? So I know your stereotypes and I go against it to make sure you don't go there, to make sure you do more research, to make sure I'm more interesting than you assumed. So that's stereotype used correctly. So what is my current stereotype of Caucasian people? Say I'm dating or anything like that. They're really shy. They're really, really shy. In general, humans, they're shy. They're really shy. But all of them, African American, Mexican, even if you party a lot, even if you're the most popular person, even if you're a superstar, a celebrity, they're very, very shy. They're very shy. That's my stereotype of humans. And to go further, my stereotypes of Caucasian, they just don't know their history. Right? Like, this is your history. A white person wrote this. Right? So, I'm learning about my history. Right? This is a white person's point of view, but it's of Asian culture. And an Asian person made this. And an Asian person made this. I'm learning about my culture. What I see in a lot of Caucasian people is they really don't know the King Arthurs, the Beowulfs. They don't know anything. Like, I don't know how to have a conversation with you because you don't know anything. Like, I can't bring up King Arthur. I can't bring up Beowulf. I can't bring up anything. No conversation pieces. Like, all you have is, I hate my mom. I hate my dad. I hate my life. That's all you have. I don't know what else to talk about. So that's what Caucasian people is. They're very limited in their history. They don't know their history at all. What do I like in Caucasian people? To be honest, nothing. I don't like anything in any human right now. But if we're talking about Caucasians, like if I were to date a Caucasian or meet like a Caucasian, like have a Caucasian friend or something, they're not that interesting. Because they don't know their past. You gotta know your past. To know all the mistakes that they made. You know, there's a lot of betraying your friends in King Arthur. With, I forget the knight's name, but he betrayed King Arthur and took his wife. You can learn a lot from that, right? Because I remember me and Alex liked the same girl, and I remember on his Facebook post, he's asking her out, like, hey, let's go out sometime. And then I think I posted on her wall too, like, hey, no, let's go out with me. Like, go out with me. And then Alex and I had friction. But you don't want to repeat the past. Learn from the past so it doesn't repeat. So when I see friction like that, I'm reminded of King Arthur or Beowulf or movie or stories, poems like that where they already went through it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with it because I don't want the same thing to happen. I don't want a broken friendship. That's why Alex is like, Min's a really good friend. How? Because I learned from the past. I don't want our friendship to be broken, so I just like, oh, you can have the girl. That's why it's important to learn humanities. Humanities is the stories that people tell. It's very important to learn from their mistakes so that you don't repeat it. Or news stories today. So in dating, again, white people are not that interesting. It's a lot of anger. I see a lot of anger in white people because of racism, what happened in that past. And they're just confused about it. It's like they don't know how to apologize. So I see a lot of anger in white people, and that frightens me. Right? You thought Asians were scary with their kung fu. Nah, man. Passive aggressiveness. That scares me. Terrified of this. I hate when Caucasian people do this to me. I leave. I hate it. Or if you migrated over and you have history from your country, whether it's Italy or whatever, and you hold on to that baggage. My parents traveled from Vietnam, and they still hold on to the baggage of the Vietnam War. And the Viet Cong and what they're doing to our country. I try not to hold that baggage. I try to see the Viet Cong as just people. Right? They're just trying to survive. They don't know how, but they're just trying to survive. I don't hold on to that anger. There's so much anger from the past. They just don't learn from the past. They hold on to it. Right? You're not supposed to take sides. They're telling you the story so that you don't repeat it. You don't choose sides. Um, so that's how I see Caucasian women, men. They're scary to me. They're very passive aggressive. They scare the crap out of me. They're so passive aggressive that I have a more friendly time with African Americans. I have a lot of African American friends in college and in life because they've kind of gotten past slavery. They're not passive aggressive. They're contemporary even, but they're still shy. But at least they're contemporary. They have dances and things like that. You see with Caucasians when they go to prom, things like that, they hold a lot of baggage. My mom said I have to do something. My mom said I can't lose my virginity. My dad said I can't lose my virginity. They hold a lot of baggage from not understanding what this is. So I just don't get involved. I'm like, that's a family matter. That's deep. That's not for me to get involved in that. I wouldn't even know how. So yeah, a lot of Caucasian people are angry. Like you think Asians and African American are angry and Mexicans are angry? To me, it's the white people, the Caucasians. Like they're really passive aggressively angry. It's like the more you get to know them, the more you see the anger and the confusion in life. So I kind of do that from a distance so that they don't attack me or hold on to me, right? So they hold on to their dad, their sibling, their mom, their friends. They just hold on to, they just choose sides. They choose this side, this side, this side, their friends. So what I would do is at Pacific, I would talk to them from a distance so they can't hold on to me. So they can feel how lonely that feels to always hold on to something. It's lonely. You don't ever get to be yourself. So I never get close to them. I don't let them do that. You need to learn how to be independent. That's what college is about. Be independent. Don't go to college and, oh, my parents, so I'm going to rebel and have sex against my parents. You're still doing it for your parents. If you rebel against your parents, you're doing it for your parents. You're not doing it for you. So I see a lot of rebellion, a lot of anger, a lot of just confusion in college, and I just don't get involved. I gotta go. I got things to do. I got a life to live. I can't get involved in all this. So when all of their anger compiled onto me at Pacific, I'm like, okay, let it out. Finally, air it out. Air your family laundry. Dirty secrets about your family. Dirty secrets about your friends. Dirty secrets about yourself. Just air it out. Go ahead. And they did. They're like, oh, my family sucks and things like that. And it's very therapeutic for them. And they start doing that with their friends. Even after I graduated, they continued to do it. It was very therapeutic for them to air it out. That's what you should do. Because you don't want to hold it in, right? If you don't like something, say it. When it's just in your head, you feel locked with it. It locks you in when you don't say it. You need to say it. Like, I don't like that you're doing this. I don't like that. I don't appreciate that you're doing this. At Pacific, I gave those nods where I'm like, I don't appreciate you doing this. I don't appreciate you hurting my feelings. I don't appreciate you disrespecting my art when I work really hard. I was up all night, right? I might tear up a little bit to show like I don't approve of this behavior. Like you're attacking me. It was a student. She was white, and I was getting a lot of attention on the on. It was a small painting of the thing. I was getting a lot of attention on it because um, there was a resident artist. He was critiquing it, and she would go off on me. And I'm like, where did that come from? We were friends, right? And then all of a sudden, this anger comes out. I'm like, where did that come from? So what I see in Caucasians, I try to avoid. Right? That's why I like being around the Asians, um, the African Americans, or different culture, just to have different perspectives. Um, the Caucasian experience, it's stuck in the past, very stuck in the past. It's like they can't get out of that "leave it to Beaver" mentality of your parents telling you how to live. Um, it's pretty easy. You just study your history and just learn not to repeat it. How to handle authority figures, right? All right. Don't just attack your parents, right? Like Sir Lancelot. Don't like Sir Lancelot. He attacked King Arthur because he wanted his wife. Don't just attack your parents because you want freedom, right? Learn from the past. So I try to avoid Caucasians. They're very they're going through something right now. They're just it's a growing pain. It lasts a little too long, like it's way too long. So with Caucasians, yeah, they're very shy and they're very angry. Um, and they're very passive aggressive. So do I fear them? Yeah, pretty much. I do fear Caucasians. Not fear in like I'm afraid for my life. Fear in that they might um, lash out on me. Um, if I show any sophistication, as in like I achieve more than them. Like I achieve more than them. If it's like this where I look like I achieve more than them, they'll lash out because they want that freedom from their parents. They just don't know how to do it. Um, so yeah, with Caucasians, I try to stay away. They're very shy. They're very shy. Um, it it's almost like the yes sir, yes master from the Africans in slavery. It's like they're still in bondage from their parents. So it's yes daddy, yes mommy. When back then in slavery, it's like yes sir, yes master, yes master. It's the same thing. Yes daddy, yes mommy. And they just do what they're told. They just like slavery. Um, so they have their own slavery that they're dealing with. So I try to stay away from that. That's not my history. Um, with me, I'm completely free. I learn from the past, from others, um, and I'm growing a sense of humor. So I'm totally free. Um, so yeah, that's my opinion on Caucasians. I'm friends with them. Like I'm still friends with them, but they're very young. In mental development, they're very young. I try to help them out, be nice to them, show them the way, right? Trying to show them the way out. But in dating, nah, they'll attack you. I've been attacked. I've been attacked by Gina, Tri Delta, Delta Gamma, friends. I've been attacked because they want the freedom. They feel trapped. They feel like they're enslaved. They're still saying yes, daddy, yes, mommy. So, would I date a Caucasian? I try not to. But dating an Asian has its problems as well. Um, they just they don't know their history, right? They're stuck on stereotypes that American gave them, and they don't study what Japanese are doing. Look what Japanese are doing. Like, they're mad. The nuclear bomb and the humiliation of the nuclear bomb. Look how mad they are. Right? They're trying to break free. So the Asian girls, they don't know what's going on. This is big news. This is big news right here. Look at the Japanese are angry at the Americans for nuking them twice. Twice. That's a humiliation. Look at how angry they are. Something's happening in Japan. That's big news. And Asian girls they're just not on current events. They don't know what's happening. That's why I pay attention, man. Like the movies that come out, the video games, everything that humans make, I pay attention. I look at the anger and the frustration, and I look at it all, and the fears that people have, and I pay attention. I pay attention to what you say, what you do, the movies you make, the TV shows you make. I pay attention to everything because it shows me what's going on inside that you don't want to talk about. So you create it creatively. You make it into something creative. So I pay attention. This is news. This is big news right here. Breaking out of the chains of the mind. And this is big news because slavery of the parents and child is still a thing. Big news. These are current events. The movies and the TV shows, all of it. Anything humans make, the iPhone, everything. Those are current events. It's filled with our emotions of what's going on inside of us. So yeah.